I just had a hip replaced, and this is my first time out, and it's great to be out. And I'm doing really good from the surgery. I was in my home for about 4 weeks. So my wife Margaret, we've been married for 55 years. My wife Margaret. We also have 5 grandchildren. Grandchildren are God's gift to you for not killing your children.
Exactly.
About last week, Margaret was saying, isn't it time for you to go on the road again? Isn't it time for you to go out and speak just a little bit? And I'm just excited to be able to be with you in the Super Patch. And Jay, my gosh, we had to talk the other day on the phone. And he was explaining and helping me to understand what you're doing, and what you're doing is just absolutely amazing. I mean, what could be better? What could you do better in life than to have something for people that can make an incredible difference in their physical life? I mean, just think about adding value to people and giving them something that's going to make an incredible difference in their life. But I was talking to Jay, and he was telling me a story, which is an incredible story. And I thought, he's one of the smartest people I know. And I thought, in fact, after a while I said, hey, you're so smart. I'm not sure I should come and speak for you. My name's John, you know what I'm saying? I just was overwhelmed at what you're doing and who you are, and to be a part of this today is just a terrific honor. I'm so glad that I'm here, and I want to really add value to you in the time that we have. And I have something I think that's going to really help you. Let me ask you a simple question. How many of you want to improve your life? It's an IQ question, isn't it? I mean, think about it. If you really don't want to improve your life, why are you here today, huh? And what's incredible, while you're improving your life, you get to improve the life of others. And so I want to serve you. I want to say some things in this session that are going to really help you. So get ready to take some notes. In fact, look at your neighbor and say to them, you're about to learn something. Go ahead.
You're about to learn something.
In fact, look right back at him and say, why do you think I brought you here?
Why do you think I brought you here?
I want to talk to you about success, okay? If I could just walk through the auditorium right now and talk to you just individually for a moment and ask you what you think success is. In a room with this many people, I would get dozens of different answers when somebody tries to define success. And I think that's beautiful, because success is a personal thing. And what is success to one person may not be success to another. So I think that's a beautiful thing, but it's really quite subjective. And when I work with, especially, I love working with the younger generations and kind of helping them get started. And when they're asking me, how do I get started well in life and career and family, etc., well, one of the things I share with them is you need to find a personal definition of success. You need to define for yourself what you believe success is. This is very essential to your life. And I'm going to work with you and try to help you with that. But again, Jay, when I was on the phone with you the other day and you were telling me your story, I could tell that in that process of your story that you came to a place where you got your definition of success. You began to understand for you what success was. And so I'm going to share with you my personal definition of success, and I just want you to know it's really good. It's just really good. In fact, it is so good that when I'm done teaching this, there's a whole bunch of you who are going to say, I think I'm going to take that as my life. Now, I'm not trying to impose that on that as my purpose at all, but when I'm 77, and I have had an incredible, wonderful, I'm grateful for the life that I've had. But I really do understand success. And I understand what a real, what success will do for you when you really have a grounded personal definition of it. So I'm very excited, and I'm going to share with this. It's very simple teaching, and it's going to be easy for you to grab hold of. So let's go. I think success is 3 things, okay? I think success, first of all, is me knowing my purpose in life. That's where I think success is birthed. You know, somebody said one time that there are two great days in a person's life: the day that they were born, and then the day that they understood why. We've all had the day we were born. We already have our birthdays, but it's the understanding why we are here, our purpose, that gives us a foundation and a stabilization to literally build our life. Let me just ask you a question. What would it profit you if you climbed, quote, the ladder of success, and when you got clear to the end, you discovered that it was leaning against the wrong building? And I watch people have that in their life all the time. And the reason they have that happen to them is they've really never discovered their purpose. So I want to try to be practical and help you do that for the next 12 minutes. There are two purpose paths. There are two paths that you take to discover what your purpose is. And I'm going to give them both to you. The first one isn't 100% accurate. It's about 70% accurate, but it's certainly worth going down that path. And I'll give that one to you first. The other one, the second one I give to you, is 100% accurate. It'll work every time. It'll work for anybody in this auditorium today. So let's get going. So the first purpose path I want to talk to you briefly about is the path of passion. If you want to find your purpose, the first thing you want to do is you need to go inside yourself and ask yourself, what am I passionate about? Because passion is the great energizer. When a person has passion, they have energy. You've never known a passionate person that lacked energy. And you've really never known a person that lacked passion that had energy. So sometimes when we talk about, well, they're a high energy person, well, they're a low energy person, what you're really saying is they have a high purpose, they have no purpose. Because purpose gives me a lot of energy. You see, when I was in my 20s, I came to a conclusion that just changed my life and filled me with fire. And the conclusion was everything rises and falls on leadership. Everything. Mm-hmm. I was 25. Everything rises and falls on leadership. If you're a good leader, you're going to do well in any area of life. It doesn't really matter. And if you're not a good leader, you're not going to do well in life. In fact, when I wrote the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, the law of the lid, the first law says how well you lead. What does it do? It determines how well you succeed. In Super Pat's business, you that lead well will do better than those in the room that don't lead well. That's just an absolute fact. Everything rises and falls on leadership. When I realized that, it lit a fire in me, and I thought, that is such an important principle. If I could teach people how to be good leaders so that they would rise, not fall, if I could teach them to do that, this could really change their life. And by the way, over 55 years of me teaching leadership, I can help people learn how to lead. I mean, if you want your leadership to rise, you have to have two things happen. You have to have good leadership skills, and you have to have good values. And you have to have both. One doesn't substitute for the other. You have to have good leadership skills, you have to have good values. If your leadership isn't doing well, it's because you lack leadership skills or you lack good values. Now, I'm passionate about everything rises and falls on leadership. I believe that principle to be true at 25. At 77, I'm here to tell you, I know it's true. I've taught it around the world. I have spoken to in every leadership convention and every kind of conceivable thing that you could possibly think of. I've spoken to the United Nations. I know for sure at 77 that everything rises and falls on leadership. Now, I'm passionate about that. I have a fire that burns in me. I'm 77. I'm still in the game. Why am I still in the game? I'm still in the game because if I can teach people how to lead well, they're going to do very, very well in their life. So it gives me energy. I was talking to a friend the other day. And he told me he was burned out. And I've known him for about 20 years. And as soon as he said he was burned out, I just kind of sat back in my chair and I was astounded that he was burned out. And I told him, I said, man, I'm so surprised you're burned out. He said, why? I said, Because you've never been on fire. I still haven't figured it out. He's burned out. Burned out. Burned out means at one time you were burning. Burned out means you're no longer burning. You're out of burning. But you got to be burning before you can get burned out. No burning, no burned out. Oh my gosh. I had a guy one time come to me. I just spoke to about 2,000 people on the leadership, and everybody was loving it. We were teaching, they were laughing, they were writing. It was just a good time. And he came up to me. Just a beautiful kid. I was signing books. And he said, I've watched you today. He said, I've decided I know what I want to do. I said, well, great. I said, what do you want to do? He said, I want to do what you do. I want to be a leadership speaker, write leadership books, and have 2,000 people, charge them $1,000 a head, and have them laughing and have them good. I just want to do what you do. I said, I got it. I want to do what you do. He was just such a nice kid. Quite naive, but a nice kid. I like him. He's just a nice kid. He wanted to do what I do. And I said, well, I love that. That's okay. I said, can I ask you a question? He said, yes. I said, would you like to do what I did? Mm-hmm. So you can do what I did? Of course you want to do what I do. I got that
Want
do
the end
part,
result.
but you got that did part.
Mm-hmm.
Because the did comes before the do.
Yep.
A lot of people, I want to be like him. I want to be like her. I want to make their kind of money. I want to have that status. I want to have that. You got to ask yourself, what? You don't think they got there by accident, do you? You don't think that they got there, but they paid a price to get there. Oh, I like to do what you do. Of course you want to do what I do. That is the thing. I said, do you want to do what I did? Because if you don't do the did, you don't get to do the did and do. And if you skip the did, there's no do. In fact, the best way I can explain it is, if you don't do the did, you're a deep doo-doo. Passion is essential. My father was an incredible leader, very successful. At 92, we were having lunch one day, and he said, look at me, son. I looked at him, he said, I think my greatest days are still ahead of me. He's 92. He's 92. I think my greatest days are still ahead of me. I know people that are 22 who can't say that. Now, how can my father say that? Passion. It's a great interjection. People ask me all the time as a leader, well, how do you motivate your people? I quit trying to motivate people a long time ago. Those people wear you out. Nothing wears me out more than trying to motivate people. Oh, come on. Yeah, They wear me out. I just get tired. I just say I can take a nap. Trying to motivate people. Gosh. But after a while, I learned. I quit trying to motivate people. I started hiring motivated people. I mean, how many days are you going to hit the ball, drag Charlie, hit the ball, drag Charlie, hit the ball, drag Charlie, hit the ball, drag Charlie? After a while, don't you just want to hit Charlie? Come on, Charlie! Well, you see, you'll never have to be motivated if you have passion for what you do. I don't try to talk people, oh, please stay in the game. Oh, don't leave. Oh, come on. But be honest with you. Please leave. In fact, could I take you to the door? My gosh, let me open the door for me. Oh, hallelujah. Blessed subtraction. There's people wear you out. What's the problem? The problem has nothing to do with super PACs. The problem has everything to do with they don't have passion. And if you have passion, 70% of the time it will take you to your purpose, but not 100%. It's possible to be passionate about something you're not good at. I'm passionate about golf. I live on 2 golf courses, okay? I love golf. I just love the game. But there's a problem. I'm not any good. I'm not good, but I'm not great. I'm good, but I'm not great. Like, I was playing golf with one guy one day who was a really good golfer. He said, John, I only see one problem with your golf game. And I thought, good Lord, that's not bad. One problem, I can fix that. I said, what is it? He said, well, you're too close to your ball after you hit it. That's a problem. That's a problem. And so I'm passionate about golf, but it's not going to be a career. You understand? This way, if you're passionate about something you're not good at, don't make it a career. Make it a hobby.
Yeah.
For a hobby won't hurt you. If you make it for a career, you won't make any money, you won't go anywhere. So passion is a great path to follow, but it doesn't necessarily mean you'll be highly successful. But the second path that you follow is the strength zone path. You've got to get on the path that complements your natural strengths and your natural abilities. Because every one of you in the auditorium, you all have things that you naturally do well, just as we have things that we naturally don't do well at all. So you've got to do some inventory, you've got to do some reflection, and you've got to ask yourself, okay, what am I talented in? What am I gifted in? What do I seemingly, when I do it, it kind of turns out well? And you got to find those strengths. When you find those strengths, then you have to work on those strengths, you have to nurture those strengths, and listen to me very carefully. We have grown up in a culture that says work on your weaknesses. Mm-hmm. When we were going to school, what did they do? If you got an A in math and you C in English, they said work on English. I'm telling you, don't work on your weaknesses at all. If you got a C in English, just get on your knees and thank God you got a C. You probably deserved a D. Don't work on your weaknesses. And so I said, well, now wait. What do you mean don't work on your weaknesses, John? Why shouldn't I work on my weaknesses? Let me explain to you. My name's John. I'm your friend. I don't want you to work on your weaknesses because you're weak in your weaknesses. What part of that don't you understand? From a 1 to a 10, in your giftedness or non-giftedness, you can only increase your potential 2 points. If I'm below average, I'm a 3. That's pretty weak out of 10. I'm not very good in this area. If I work hard on that weaknesses, I can perhaps get it to a 5. That's average. You don't want to be average. Average is average. I don't know what anybody loves about average, because average is average. Nobody ever was highly successful because they were average. Average is average. I mean, think about it. Average shouldn't turn your crank at all. Doesn't turn my crank on. I mean, hey, suppose you and your spouse, after the hard day's work, you look at each other and say, my gosh, we're hungry. Let's just go out to eat tonight. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's go out to eat. Now, where do we want to go eat? I'll tell you what. I'm so excited. Let's go find an average restaurant. Let's go find, I like that. Yeah, let's go to an average restaurant. And you can find them when you pull up in front of them. There aren't any cars.
Yeah.
Well, there are 2. The waiter and the owner. And you walk in there, and you go to the lady at the front desk, and you just say, now, we just want an average meal. And do you have an average table? We don't want one like that's got a window that looks out over the lake. Do you just have it like we like to have an average table. And could we have an average waiter? We really like average waiters. You know, average waiters are the ones who are supposed to serve you, but they can never see you. Yeah. I get amazed. They're here to take care of me, and bring food to me, and serve me, and they walk right by me. And it's like, I don't think they saw me. You know, after about the third time, you have to flag them. That's an average. And when an average waiter finally finds you and comes to the table, you look and say, now, we don't want to know what's special here, but do you have anything on the menu that's average? I mean, is there anything like nobody's ordered for a day or two? Now you don't go to an average restaurant, sit at an average table, have an average waiter, get an average meal, and walk out of there and say, oh my gosh, unbelievable, when are we going to do this again? Nobody comes back to average. Why do you like it so much? If you work on things that you're not good at, if you work on weaknesses, at best, you'll be a 5. But let's say, you're already a 6 in some places. And by the way, every one of you in this auditorium, you have strengths that you naturally are a 6. Now, if you work on those strengths, you can go to a 7, you can go to an 8. When you go to an 8, people start to stand in lines for 8s and 9s because they know what you're doing and what you're going to be able to do for them is way above average. So to find your purpose in life, ask yourself, what am I passionate about, but what am I good at? And boy, when you can put what you're passionate about alongside what you're good at, I'm going to promise you are a long way on finding your definition of success. So it all begins with the success itself begins in my life by knowing my purpose. I know my purpose. That's why I'm still in the game today. I know that I was called to teach people how to lead and improve their lives and add value to them. And I have companies that have done that to millions of people. We're the largest leadership training company in the world. We've trained 6 million leaders in every country in the world. We have 6 companies to help people be better leaders and be more successful. We've got it done. We've got it all down. It's our strengths. We're good at it. Find your strengths up. Find out if you're passionate about that. Put them together. That's the foundation of your success. Knowing my purpose in life. Number 2. The second part of success is growing. It's one thing for me to know my purpose in life, but I must now grow. I must grow to my maximum potential. In other words, once I've got this thing figured out, I have got to become passionate about my own personal development in my life. You see, the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to be better for you or for me is that we are growing today. So when I ask people about their future, say, well, I sure hope everything works out. I'm okay. I look at them and say, you know, my name's John. I'm your friend. Hope's not a strategy. You see, the only guarantee that I know that tomorrow is going to be better than today, it's like my father saying my best days are still ahead of me. Why can he say my best days are still ahead of me? Because he's still learning. He's still growing. He's still developing himself. Now, I'm going to give you a simple statement, but it's a life-changing statement. The secret to your success, the secret to my success, is determined by our daily agenda. What you do every day determines how successful you'll be. There's no secret sauce to success. If I could go home with you tomorrow and just hang, I don't have to say anything to you, just let me hang. Let's say we start at 8 in the morning and we go to 6 tomorrow night. And all I do is hang. Wherever you are, I'm there. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to hang with you. You do understand, at 6 o'clock tomorrow night, if you and I sat at the table and I had dinner, you do understand with about 90% accuracy, I can tell you how successful you're going to be. Just a fact. You say, John, you've only been with me one day. You don't even know me. I only need a day.
Yeah.
Because you see, what you do in your daily habits every day shows me if they're good habits or not good habits. You see, if I spend a day with you, I'm going to find out by the end of that day what kind of an attitude you have.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't even need a day to find that out most of the time. Shoot, I've been on elevators and never talked to somebody. And I just looked at it. And between the first and the fourth floor, I thought, oh, they got a terrible attitude. Oh my God. In fact, I get off on the fourth floor and I was going to the 8th. I just go, oh my Lord, I could be married to that. Oh. It doesn't take long to find out what a person's attitude is like. If I was with you for a day, I would find out how well you prioritize your life. You see, activity is not necessarily accomplishment at all. I mean, other people say, oh, I'm really working hard. That doesn't impress me at all. I can take you to developing poor countries in the world where they work harder than you would be. And they're still poor. So, oh, I really work hard. I don't care if you work hard. I just got to ask you, do you work smart? Do you know how to prioritize your life? When you get up in the morning, are you running on the things that are going to give you the return in your life? Or are you running on busy stuff that has got no return at all in your own business? And it isn't going to help you with super patch. It isn't going to help you be the person that you want to be. I mean, it's very, very simple. If I'm with you, I'm going to find out how you prioritize. I'm going to find out how good you are relationally. I'm going to watch you interact with people. Just trust me. At 6 o'clock at dinner, I'm going to be able to look at it and I'm going to give you a readout of your life. And I'm going to say, this is how far you're going to go.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't determined. Your success is not determined about what you're going to do. Your success is being determined by what you're doing right now. You see, right actions done daily compound into major success. Wrong actions done daily compound into disaster in your life and in my life. I mean, we're in January, and you think about New Year's resolutions. There are probably a whole bunch of us in this room. About 4 weeks ago, in December, about mid-December, we made some New Year's resolutions. You know, in 2025, I want to do this, and maybe one of those resolutions was, you know what? I'm going to get in shape. I am going to get in shape this year. I'm going to go join the gym. And man, I'm going to kill it. And on January the 1st, boy, we are ready. We are ready. Everybody's ready on January 1st to change their life. But man, I'm telling you, I'm in my car, I'm going down to the gym, and I get right down to the gym, and I'm getting ready to pull in the parking lot, and there's a policeman out there, and he's looking at me, and he said, you can't come in, it's full. It's full. I said, what do you mean it's full? He said, the place is packed. And what do you mean? I want to exercise. The place is packed. I got to drive 2.5 blocks down to park my car. And now I'm really disgusted because I have to walk. I've got to walk to that gym. I don't want to walk to that gym. I want to get out of my car and step into the gym. I don't want to walk to the gym. I don't want to get my exercise outside of the gym. I'm not even sure that's legal. I want to get my exercise inside. I go in there, and as soon as I walk in there, every machine is full. It's packed. I didn't go up to the managing table. I said, my gosh, I really wanted to kind of make this a great year, start exercising, and look at you, you're all packed out. And the manager just smiles. He says, now just relax, just take a pill. Let me tell you something. He said, just don't come back until January the 17th. Come back January the 17th, and you'll have no problem. Man, I come back January the 17th. No, my gosh, that parking lot's up front. In fact, they got balloons out front and grand opening. They got a clown trying to drive you in there, and my gosh, you pull right up to right the place right by the doors where you park. In fact, if the door's wide enough, you can park your car right inside that little sucker. You can get on any exercise machine you want, baby. You know what's happened? I'll tell you what's happened. It took people 17 days, and that's exactly what it does take them. 17 days to stop doing what they should be doing. There's no secret to a person's success. It goes back, would you like to do what I do? Huh? The moment that we understand how this works, everything begins to change. I had a fellow at a conference recently came up to me and said, my gosh, he said, what you do is brilliant. He said, I wish I could have heard you 25 years ago. And I smiled. I said, no, you don't. And he looks at me and said, what do you mean? I said, you don't wish you could have heard me 25 years ago. Oh, no. He said, trust me, I do. I wish I could have heard you 25 years ago. I said, no. My name's John. I'm your friend. You don't wish you could have heard me 25 years ago. Oh, he said, you're so wrong. He said, if I could have heard today what I heard 25 years ago, if I could have heard you 25 years ago, he said, it would have changed my life. I said, listen, let me explain something to you. if you'd heard me 25 years ago, you wouldn't have heard what you heard today. I'm growing. I'm learning. What do you think? Do you think I came out of my mother's womb with the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership? I'm still learning. I'm still growing. Oh, this is huge. I don't want you to miss it. When I was in my late 20s, I heard Earl Nightingale say that if you spend 1 hour a day, every day on the same subject for 5 years, you can become an expert on the subject. And I was in love with leadership at that age because everything rises to life. I'm already passionate about leadership. And when Nightingale said, if I spend 1 hour a day, every day on the subject of leadership for 5 years, I can become an expert on the subject, I said, I'm in. And I started. And I started with this thing that he said, in 5 years, I can become an expert. So I'm immediately counting down. I mean, I got a deadline and a goal line. And 5 years, expert, leadership expert. And so every day I go out and I practice leadership. I read leadership. I talk to leaders. I ask leadership questions. Every day, 1 hour, leadership. And I'm thinking, Nightingale said in 5 years I'm going to be an expert. So every day I would say, now how long will this take? You know, how long will this take? How long will this take? How long will this take? The first month. How long will this take? How long? First year, second year. How long will this take? I was about 2.5 years in this 5-year deal. Asking every day how long will it take? Nightingale said 5 years. And one day, I quit asking that question. In fact, I've never asked that question since. Let me tell you what happened. About halfway in that 5-year period, because I was spending an hour a day on leadership, my leadership was really growing. And people were starting to follow me. And I had built one of the 10 largest nonprofit organizations in America. I mean, all of a sudden, people were signing up, registering, wanting to know if they could be on my team. And all of a sudden, I'm leading, and it's working. And everything that I wanted about leadership and believed about leadership was beginning to happen in my own personal life. And I was growing. And growth is happiness. And about halfway in that 5-year period, the moment I realized I was getting better, I was really becoming a good leader. I quit asking how long will it take. And I changed my question. I started asking a question that I'm still asking today. It's not how long will it take. It's how far can I go? How far can I go? That's the question. How far? And the reason I'm still asking the question is I don't know. I've not yet hit my potential. I've not yet hit my limits. Oh my gosh. Everything in my life is just growing and blossoming. It's just huge. I don't know how far I can go. But I know this. I've not got close to my potential. And by the way, Earl Nightingale, he tricked me. He really did. He said in 5 years I could become an expert in leadership, and that's just not true. Now, I was a lot better in 5 years in leadership, but I wasn't an expert. In fact, I'm still not an expert in leadership. I'm recognized as the #1 leadership guru of the world, but I'm not an expert in leadership. I never have been, and I don't think I will be. See, and the reason I'm not an expert is, you see, the more you know, the more you know you don't know. And the more you know you don't know, the more you know you have to know more than you really know. And so therefore, every time I keep growing, the field gets bigger. And I don't know, I have no idea. I have no idea where it's going to stop. I mean, I wrote one book in 1979, and it took me a year to write that book. And the book's not any good. It's not good. In fact, I had a whole lecture entitled, "You're Never Good the First Time." I don't want people to know that, because you're not good the first time. I'm not good the first time. Nobody's good the first time. I love you people say, well, I've never done it before, so I'm really working hard, so I'll do a great job. And I say, take a pill. My name's John. I'm your friend. You're going to be quite lousy. I mean, when you started talking, you didn't talk in sentences. When you started walking, you didn't walk around the block. Everything's brand new. You're not any good at it. You're really not any good the first time, and you're not going to be too hot the second or the third time either. That's why you have to put repetitions in practice to get good. And you practice your way to success. You don't plan your way to success. You don't pray your way to success. You practice your way to success. And this begins to be absolutely life-changing. My first book is called Think on These Things. It's still in print. I try to get it out of print. I go to the publisher every year and I say, can I buy the book out? Can I just buy the book out? I mean, just let me buy the book out. Just what's your number? And you'll never publish that book again. And they won't do it because it sells good, because now of my name. But it doesn't sell good because it's a good book. It sells because it's got my name on it. And I want to get it. It's not any good. And I know you're just thinking I'm being humble and modest. I'm not being humble and modest. It's a lousy book. Well, let me explain to you. It has 110 pages. And it's, okay, you're going to start to get the picture now. And it's 33 chapters. That's about less than 4 pages a chapter. The other day I was signing books, and a lady came up and she had it. She had the book. And she was so excited. She said, I got your first book you ever wrote. Would you sign it for me? And I stopped her and said, can I ask you a question? What do you like about that book? And she looked at me and said, oh, I love the short chapters. And then she looked at me and said, how did you think about writing just short chapters like that? And I said, lady, the chapters are short because I couldn't think. In fact, some of the chapters are 3 pages too long. And the book is entitled Think on These Things, and there's nothing to think about. When I finished that book, I said, thank God I'm done. I'll never do this again. Now, I'm going to tell you this because sometimes when you start off in a business, you don't do really well in the beginning of the business. It's all right. None of us do really well at the beginning. Don't let these people tell you that they're just amazing the first day. They weren't amazing on the first day. They're just on drugs. Trust me. Nobody's amazing the first day. You're lousy the first day. It's okay. It's okay because we're getting there. We're growing in this process. And now I've written 91 books, sold 38 million copies. By the way, I had to write 7 books before I got good. It took me 7 books. So when people have done 2 or 3, I look at them and say, you're only 4 away from success. And no, some people can do it much better and quicker than I can, that's for certain. But now, and when I wrote that first year, I said, I'll never write another book. And then when I said I'd write another book, I thought, good Lord, I wonder if I'll ever be creative enough to write 5 books. And now I've written 91 books. And what happens is, the more you do, the more creative you become. So what's happening is I'm 77, I've written 91 books, and I have 14 books in what I call my book birth line. In other words, I know what they're going to be about, I just haven't written them yet. And they're all in the line, the book line, and they're raising their hands saying, write me, write me, write me. And one of the books that I'm going to write, it's in the book, it's in the line, is going to ask a question. The title of the book is there a finish line? Well, that's a great question. And for 99% of the people in the world, there's a finish line. See, when I get X amount of money, I think I'll stop, or when I live here, or when I know that, or when I have that position. And so they put these self-imposed finish lines in their life. Oh my. That's not good. Let me explain something. Have I told you? My name is John. And I'm your friend. When you have a self-imposed finish line, when you cross it, you're finished. What part of that don't you understand? I know people who have good years in their life left, and it's over. It's already. I know that they're still breathing and living, but they're unofficially dead because they had a finish line. You see, I have none. I never expect to cross my finish line. It's just way out there. And how far can I go? I don't know. It's still out in front of me. You see, this is huge. If you never get to your finish line, you stay in the game. When you cross the finish line, you get out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for me. And the key is continually personally growing and developing yourself. If you came up here and sat at the table and it was just you and me and we just had a good conversation, that'd be so much fun. I would love one-on-one to talk to every one of you. I'd love to get to know you. And my gosh, I just love people. I love adding value to people, and that's why I'm here. And the only reason I'm here today is because I'm still adding value to people. People come all the time to me and say, "Now, John, when are you going to retire?" And I tell them I'm not going to retire. Why would I retire? I mean, my gosh, why would I have a finish line? No, I'm not going to retire. But the only reason I'm here today is to add value to you. That's the only reason. Sometimes people say, "Well, John, why haven't you retired?" And then they look at me and say, "Are you okay financially?" I'm okay. I've sold 38 million books. Do the math.
Yeah, and that's not counting all the other things.
I was
Yeah.
in California yesterday. Finished speaking for an incredible company in California. And then there was the playoff football game was there. So I said, we can't leave until we watch the game. And you can only do that if you have your own plane. And so I grew up in Ohio. OH.
Oh, wow.
Those people that repeated that are true saints. True saints. We watched that game. Then we got on the plane. Papa's brought me here. Now I'm here. This is huge. This is huge. I can afford to retire. I'm okay. I'm not here for money. I'm here for you. If you're in super patch just for the money, you're going to wear out. You have a time limit on how long you'll be here. But if you're in super patch because it's adding value to people and you're making a difference and you want to make a difference in people's lives and you value people and you want to be that person they look to and say someday and say, it's because of you that my life got better. If you're in super patch for the right reason, you're going to be awesome. You're going to be absolutely awesome. But if you're in it for title or position or sometimes very mediocre things, you won't stay in the game very long. You'll get your title, get your position, you'll cross your finish line, you'll get bored, and you'll be gone. And I want you to, and the only safety from keeping you living that wasted life is the fact that you're still growing. I was having a conversation with Tyler Perry a couple of years ago. And we were talking about just stuff. And he told me, he said he had just finished his fourth place where he would do his movies. And he built a studio when he was young. It was too small, so he had to build a bigger studio. It was too small. Had to build a bigger studio. It was too small because he kept growing and being very successful. And then after the third, he said, I just got tired of it. He said to him, I said, I don't do this anymore. I'm just wearing out. And he said, for 3 years, I didn't do anymore. And he said, everything got flat because I didn't do anymore. And he said, one day I realized I got to go build a bigger studio so that I can keep growing in the whole process. And he did it. He was talking to me. And of course, he's a beautiful person, very successful. Anyway, here's the point. When he finished talking to me, I said, Tyler, I said, you know what you're saying? He said, what am I saying, John? I said, you're saying to me, when you can afford to quit, you can't afford to quit. Do not miss this. Consistency compounds. In this business, you stay in this business and you do the right things every day, and you start building your business. There comes a time, trust me, there comes a time where all of a sudden there begins to be a compounding. One of my other books I want to write, it's in the book, it's in the Birthright, okay? It's going to be called the 2% Factor. And the 2% Factor is very simple. To be successful in this business, you got to get in the top 10%. And most people, when they get the top 10%, guess what? They've got enough money, they get comfortable, they got what they need, so they just kind of quit. They just say, well, good, this is a good life, I like this life. And what they don't understand is, when they stop, they lost all of the potential of the next 8 points. Listen to me very carefully. The first 90 points that get you to the 10% is only a fourth of what the next 8 points will give you. When you go 8 more points, you'll have 4 times. Your compounding will be, those next eight points are worth 4 times what your first 90% was. This is absolutely, I'm writing the 2% Factor right now. I'm trying to help people say, you have no idea how good it gets. I mean, I'm 70, it's getting so good. I mean, I got 14 books. I talked to God the other day, and I said, God, I know I'm not supposed to negotiate with you. But I am just giving you a thought. In case you're running a little low. I have 14 books to write. I got 14. You've got to let me hang for a while. You got to let me hang. Well, of course I got to hang. I got 14 books to write. You see, if you don't have anything to do, why hang? Don't miss this. Consistency compounds. In the beginning, you're not as bad as people think you are. But if you do it right, and you keep doing it, in the end, you're not as good as people think you are. And that's where I am right now. I look at people all the time and say, I'm not that good. I thank you. I just love it. That's a nice word. Thank you very much. I'm not that good. It's just compounding, and it's going crazy now. And again, when you can afford to quit, you don't want to quit. So now watch this. Success is knowing my purpose in life, 2 paths, passion, strengths, growing to my maximum potential. You never stop your development. Never stop growing. The reason my books do so well is because before I started writing books, I asked myself, how can I help people? And in 18 months, I came up with the conclusion, if I can help people do 5 things in their life, they'll be highly successful regardless of their profession. And anytime you read a Maxwell book, it's about one of those 5 things every time. I've written 91 books, but I've covered 5 subjects. And I know them. And I know them well. And I live them well, and I do them well, because I know that's where all the compounding is. And the 5 subjects are communication. Your ability to cast vision, it's huge. Warren Buffett said, it's the most important skill to your success. Not making money, learning how to communicate. Leadership, everything rises and falls on it. Equipping, teamwork makes the dream work. The more you equip people and train people in this business, the more money you'll make, the more people you'll help, the more lives that you'll change. Attitude development, how you think. The greatest gap between successful and unsuccessful people is how they think. And relationships. The ability to get along with people. People won't go along with you unless they can get along with you. Gosh, I know people that are in the people business and they're not any good with people. I just want to go up to them, take them to lunch, say, my name's John. I'm your friend. And I just want you to know, this is private, just between you and me. People don't like you. I mean, I just watch people don't like it. They're in the people business. You don't need to be in this business. Good Lord. You need to be a toll booth operator. potential. Number 3, what beautiful, by the way, what beautiful people you are. You're beautiful people. I'm so excited about you. I'm so excited about Jay. I'm so excited about this company. I want to learn more myself. Because I think you're just doing really good work for humankind. Number 3, sowing seeds that benefit others. Success is not only knowing what my purpose in life is, that's my foundation. Growing to my maximum potential, that's how I grow myself on my foundation. But now, sowing seeds that benefit others. This is huge. Let me illustrate. I consider the success of my day not by the harvest that I reap, but by the seeds I sow. There's a world of difference. I don't get up in the morning and ask myself, what am I going to get? What am I going to get today? I ask myself every day, what am I going to give? Who am I going to help? Who am I going to add value to? Who am I going to serve? Who am I going to make a difference in life? And when you start sowing seeds, that benefit others, your life will incredibly, beautifully change. There's a difference between a successful person and a person of significance. Let me tell you what the difference is. When we talk about success, just success itself, it's about us. It's about I've written 91 books. It's about I have 2 homes on golf courses. It's about I have a Phenom 300. I have success. It's about me. 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 It's about what I got. Significance. It's about others. It's not about me at all. In fact, that's why selfishness and significance are incompatible. You can't be a selfish person and live a significant life. Because it's too much, what's in it for me? Where's my harvest? What am I reaping today? What am I going to get? In fact, I was talking about selfishness the other day, and I had a lady come up to me afterwards, and she said, I just want you to know, John, that I really love what you talked about selfishness. And she said, I just want you to know, I don't have a selfish bone in my body. And I looked at her, and I smiled, and I thought to myself, you're looking at a delusional woman. Really? Really? You have no selfish bone in your body? Woo. I've never met a person like this. Oh my gosh, no selfishness. You must be amazing. If you don't think you have a selfish bone in your body, let me ask you a question. When you get your friends together and you're in a group picture, and they show you the picture.
Whose face do you check first?
Who was the first person that you looked for in that picture? You don't look at anyone else. You find yourself, and if you look good, you say, great picture! Oh my God! Send it to me. Send it to me. Oh yeah. Woo! Yeah. Oh my God! Great picture. Yeah. And if you don't look good, oh hey, do it again. 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 The whole picture is determined by how good you look, and you're not selfish. I've known a lot of successful people that are very unhappy. A lot. I know successful people that are unfulfilled. And the reason they're unhappy and they're unfulfilled is we are not created to live for ourselves. It's not about me. It's never supposed to be about me. I wasn't created for it to be about me. And so when my world is just me, it's a very small world. And in that small, self-contained world,